Good evening, dear viewers, and welcome to another day of your daily show, Achievements. I'm your host, Fatma Al Hajri, and this evening I am joined by my colleague, Abdul Latif. Good evening, Abdul Latif.
Good evening, Fatma, and welcome our dear viewers. So me and Fatma, we will take you through this episode. Stay tuned.
A successful identity is built on things a person has done. Your most important accomplishments are a very important way for you to measure your success. Colleagues, competitors, and the general public can look at a person's achievements to figure out how successful they are. Most of the time, putting in a lot of work pays off. Most people think a successful life is one of a lot of things to be proud of. When you finish a task, you win over problems or other people. Achieve means to work together to reach a hard and challenging goal. Everyone should be ready to help out and work together if they need to. There are many ways to reach your goal, but in the end, it's up to you to decide how it will pay out in your life. In their careers, some people want to get rich and will be well known. Some people think that even small victories are reasons to have a party. We're all different, so we all have our own thoughts on everything. In the end, though, everyone wants to be happy, and everything you do in life will help you to get closer to that ultimate goal.
Welcome back, our dear viewers. Tonight we're having with us our special guest. He is known as an artist. He already achieved a lot, and he had workshops and galleries, not in just Kuwait. Tonight we're going to learn more about him. Please welcome with us Mr. Asad Bunashi. Welcome, Mr. Asad. We are really glad to have you here with us.
Thank you very much.
Of course, it's a pleasure to have you here in Achievements, and we'd like to know more about you and how you started in your passion.
Yeah, actually, I started when I was young, very young. I loved art, and my life always with art. In the beginning, I think I started with watching my bigger sister. She worked on the wall. And I was, I think, 6 years old or 7 years old, something like that. And I was wondering how can someone can create things on the wall like that, to study art, colors. And I was interested with that. So I study it, and I love it.
Of course, I think it's very important, especially to grow up around artistic families such as your sister, someone you look up to, and see such beautiful art painted on the wall, to actually have these kind of desires at a very young age and know what to do with them. And you actually pursue that. I think that's amazing to know from a very young age. It can be sometimes hard to know what you want. I think a lot of people usually struggle with that.
Oh, yes.
It's really wonderful when you have this home background with you. Since you started, as you said, since you were like 6 years old, and you already like see your sister and wondered how can that be happening.
Yeah.
So can you tell us how did your home background affected you on your journey?
Yeah, I was really copying in the first some characters in animations and Walt Disney and many cartoons. Also, I was interested with how to create the figures, the imaginations. I remembered one day in the school, the teacher of art, he asked about making some subject about sport. And my friends, they all, as in Kuwait, we love football very much, and all the class they're drawing footballs, like making a square, and people they playing something inside football. But I was thinking to make someone different, I make gymnastic. Someone makes some move about gymnastic, and the teacher, he was looking to my paintings and my drawing. I said, why you are like that? Why you do something different like this? Because I loved it. I always wanted to be to make something different, something new and different. And the same time, I was a gymnastic player.
Okay, so this is very interesting. You actually incorporated something that you love as a sport into your painting,
Yes.
because you were also a gymnastic player. Because most of the players you mentioned, the students were interested in football,
Yeah.
but you had something different. You already started with something different than the rest. I think it's very important, Abdulatif, to actually begin a sport or a passion, not something ordinary that everyone is doing, but try to do something different
For
that you
change,
might,
yes.
you might
Yeah.
actually enjoy. You don't know what's the other types of sports or painting or type of colors, for example.
Yes,
Because
yes.
earlier we were talking, you prefer oil painting. And I think that's very interesting. So what really got you into that kind of drawing? The artistic side, the oil painting, some of the drawings we just saw right here, I think, in this pamphlet. And I think this is really amazing. Our dear viewers, this is some of the work you just did, and I think it's
about,
beautiful.
I think
This
it's
is my
about
last
the
exhibit.
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima, yes.
Yes.
Children of War, Hiroshima. It was my last exhibition in 2022. It was in August, last August. I started to make this subject to show the people what I'm thinking about it, about the children of war. Especially the title, Hiroshima, and I took Hiroshima as example to show the people that children, they should be safe, even if I have maybe a problem with someone else. And this subject, and this is in this situation, not only in war, even in families, even in neighbors, even in villages, if we have some problem between any different people, we need to make the children safe. So I started to make 40 oil paintings about this story, and I bring the Hiroshima example.
I think it's very important, Abdulatif, to actually be passionate about a cause and put through your emotion throughout your paintings. And
It's
for
push
you
you through also and help you.
I
Yeah.
think it's very important to convey your emotions. Sometimes you can feel stressful. Sometimes you have,
Yes.
you're overwhelmed with emotions.
And you can translate these emotions
Of course.
into
As-
the painting that you are doing.
And Abdulaziz was
It supports
asking me
a lot.
earlier a question you wanted to ask him at the beginning of the show. You had a question about how he started painting,
Yes.
especially
Yeah.
in oil, because you mentioned you prefer oil paintings.
Yeah, it was studying actually. I study after when I graduated from basic education in college. I tried to study art, and I was influenced to Salvador Dali. He's one of the biggest artists back then, and I buy his books, and I really need to understand how he creates the idea, and this is what's important about. So I made my first exhibition 2002. It was called Out of Reality, and this was just out of box in something new, surrealism art, imagination. Look like, for example, one of my paintings, it was someone go through the canvas, out of the canvas, like that. And
Kind of like a 3D painting.
like a 3D, yes.
I think that's very interesting to
It's very
actually.
special.
Yeah.
Yes.
And motivating.
And the
seriously.
idea is to always talk about try to challenge yourself, try to do something new. The subject was out of reality, so you need to find the new way in your life and to create something new. And this is what about life. We have to do something always
Outside the box.
outside the
Something
box.
not ordinary. Try to do
Yes,
something
this
new
is-
every time.
You have
course.
also to do something special, but also there's something good in art that I always admire. And I think it's that in art, and I've heard this word from 11-year-old girl. And she told me that she loves art because there's no right and wrong in art. And she told me that's why she loves art.
Yeah,
Do you agree with that?
She's wise. Yeah, actually, this is the point about art. Artists take you different way to in this moment, and the most important, it's to live this moment, because we should live this moment. We don't have to think too much about the past, and we don't have to worry about the future. We need to think about the moment that you are making these paintings. This is the most important one. So you can go deep inside these paintings, so you understand, you think, the thoughts will come inside your mind, and you started to express it as a picture. So this moment, nobody can tell you yes or no or wrong.
You can do that or you cannot do that. Because in art, whatever you feel, whatever you think about, if it was like something make you happy or make you sad, you can translate it into the things and show it to the world. And I think that it's really wonderful. Like the gallery that you did here in Kuwait.
Yeah.
I think it's in Abdullah Salim area, right?
Yes, in Abdullah Salim, under the Council of Art. And also there is many people came, especially it was in August. But the idea, it was very interested to let the people come to, in August, nobody here in Kuwait, everybody.
Because it's summer,
It's
I think
summer,
it's very
summer,
hot in
and,
Kuwait, yes.
But I think it's good. I'm satisfied for the exhibition. Especially there is many people came and they admired the exhibition. This is what I'm really like it about it.
Of course, and we'd like to know more about your favorite kind of art. I think sometimes we saw a lot of your work and it's very beautiful, but which one is your favorite type of art?
I have three kinds of art. I make surrealism art, which is about imagination to express my idea. It's like a dream. You make your own dream inside the paintings. The second one, it's video art, to take some moments from your life, to make it video as coloring or black and white or anything. But the subject, it will be about 3 minutes to talk about it, about something, whatever it's. And the third, it's installation art, and it's about recycling things. So you collect many things, like anything, bottles of water or anything. So you make object. This is object, nobody can see it before. And this is really, this is the point about creating things. We always see many things inside our life. We see sculptures, we see installation art, we see some old statues. But what is new, it will take you.
Of course, I think new ideas, new art scenes can really attract the viewers to wonder, what is this, what is it about, how did you create it, where it is originally from, who came up with the idea. I think sometimes, you look at art and you're wondering who really created it, what is the source of this art?
And when it started also.
Yeah, the source, it will be, the source about maybe poets. Maybe some picture in movie, maybe someone you can speak with.
A memory sometimes.
Yeah, or memory, or some travel or anything. It's really give you the idea, it's full and all around us. You can.
It's a seed, the art.
Yeah, but how you make the good idea? You cannot make the good idea without studying the oldest idea to understand, to create something new. This is not only in art, this is in writing, this is in directing movies, this is in many things. we need to study what before us do. This is what important, and to create something more activity about it.
And of course, since that you studied art and you try to learn more and more, and you can never finish because art will never end.
Yeah.
And there is a saying that
to develop.
Exactly.
Yes.
But can you tell us about who's your favorite artist that you, when you watch his works, you really enjoy?
I loved Bosch Hieronymus. He's a Netherlands artist, and also he's a surrealism artist. He have special, and I think he's the first surrealism artist. Also, as I told you before, Salvador Dali. When I graduate, I order many books for him before iPhone and iPad and all of this. And I was always searching for surrealism idea to study how they are creating the good paintings and how they are studying to create perspective or something or object or figures. And you can collect all this. By the way, I like to talk about, there is before maybe in 80s, there is like a board, they're selling a board. We take it from a supermarket or Baqala or Maktaba or anything. And they put some stickers to create story about this board. The board, it's like just a space about mountains or rivers or jungle or space or anything. But there is a sticker here that you can stick the stickers inside the paintings about subjects, like comics or stories or something, and you create picture, big picture. This picture, you can put it in your room or any place you would like to put it. I think this gives me very good idea to how to create the story, the paintings. And now the same idea. You make the background and you start to take some object in your mind. So you make sketches, to study sketches and to mix the sketches on subjects, on the board that you created, like space or landscapes or anything like that. So this is the idea. And it's helped me a lot to create many paintings. I'm about more than, I think, 450 paintings. And each painting took me more than 2 weeks to create. This is the way to create surrealism art.
Of course,
really
I think it's an amazing way to put it. I think our dear viewers are really benefiting from this information. And of course, as I do have a lot of questions, so ladies and gentlemen, please stay after this report about art and artists. Stay tuned.
Framed paintings when we hear the word art. Some people think that I'm not a big fan of art because of that. I just don't get it. Or maybe they think art is the only for smart people or people who are good at art. But really, art is for anyone who wants to experience it, and it's often in more places than we might think. All of the things that you like, songs, movies, poems, plays, even a quilt your grandmother made, are all forms of art. So, you might be asking, well then, what exactly is art? It can be hard. Art has been around for a very long time, and it has changed many ways over time. Art is hard to define because the reasons why people make it vary from person to person and depend on a number of other things. This makes it something that has been debated throughout history. There is no single definition that everyone agrees on. Many people think that art is anything that makes you feel something. All of these feelings depend on your past, your story, and your pretty much everything else that makes you who you are. Because of this, 3 different people can see same piece of art and react to it in a very different ways. One person might think it's most beautiful thing they've ever seen, another might hate it, and a third might not feel much of anything at all. and they would all be right.
Welcome back, our dear viewers, and welcome back, Mr. Asad. So I wanted to ask you about when is the best time to do what you love? If you have a hobby or some special time and you have something special you wanted to do.
Yeah, for these things, I need to have a space, especially. I don't like someone to come when I
Disturb your work, of course.
Yeah, it's really complicated to understand that, but I think it's good for the artist to make his own space, even if he don't want to make some art. But he can bring his canvas, his palettes and colors, and to study his sketches, to create nice music. He put nice music to stay. But the time, I think it's after midnight.
It's
The
after
best time
That's
to
why
work is
artists
after
always, yeah,
Especially when the home go quiet and everyone is asleep.
Yeah.
After that, for an artist, I think it's the best time for him to try to create his work and be with his mind.
of course, because art needs to focus. If you go to the corner of the paintings to the down to the paintings, it's maybe you will be disturbed. I think my style, it's also have this problem. I cannot stay on one object when I make some art. I have to go different area. Look like you swim inside space of your paintings.
And as I said, it's a sea, so you are swimming.
Yeah, this
Exactly. And also we saw it in your gallery and the pictures that you made. I think it's really special. But I wanted to know, since that there's a lot of people went to the gallery. Of course, you have fans, and we want to know who's your biggest fan.
I cannot mention some names, but I think there is someone. Okay, he started with me before maybe 5 years. He came to me and he started to talk about. He know nothing at all about art, but he said to me, "I want to be an artist. I want to be something to create nice idea." I have many ideas inside my mind. I would like to express it about it. I would like to talk about it. And I started with him because when he started, he made the face triangle and 2 points to show the people that he's a man. And I was with him. And I said, okay, I will help you with that. Also, you help me to understand how to create the idea or something like that. And we started. And after 2 years, he surprised me because he studied anatomy, studied figures, he studied the object, studied the shade, the perspective. And he's planning now to make his own exhibition.
You inspired each other, and I think it's
Yeah.
something really wonderful, right, Fatma?
Of course.
Especially when you have the support from the people around you, right?
Of course, I think family support and friends support is very important when it comes to your career, your work, your
Yes.
hobbies. So do you find that kind of support from your families and friends as well?
Oh yeah, my families, they are always supporting me about art. They give me space, special space. And also I advise all the parents, they have if they have children, they got the hobby, this one, give them the space. Let them create something. Buy for them the colors, the stand, the canvas, and let them express, because it's help a lot to people to do something. We know as I know as a father how is PlayStation took the children, and how it's good to let your children play PlayStation.
At least inside the house.
But he didn't create things. He just playing. if you just give him to play with paintings, he will be creative.
And it also will help them
And you
to
will
create something.
switch him on.
Of course, I think
Yeah.
this is a very important point. I think a lot of kids nowadays, they spend a lot of time playing video games on their tablet, PlayStation. I think it's very important to give them a set of painting, a drawing,
Exactly.
something to work on, to get their emotions flowing. I think that's very important.
But at
Also the
what
painting.
age exactly? What is the best age to give them the advice that you just said, like paintings?
I think from the beginning, from 8, 7, if you see your children or your kids, they have this talent, you should help him about it. You should give him the space about the art space.
Of
Studio.
course, I think that's a very
Small
important.
studio,
I think
it's
sometimes
helpful.
kids, they
really
know what they
important.
want. And
Yeah.
you have to help them achieve these kind of passions at a very young age.
Yes, exactly. And thank you, Mr. Asad, for this wonderful information.
You will
Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back from more and more.
Bounachi, born in 1975, his talent was found at the public school art festivals and forums in Kuwait. Isam Arafa and Muhammad Riyad made art bigger and better. This was clear from his first National Council for Culture and Art in Art Hall show in 2002. After that, he tried to find a new artistic studies. In 2004, he put on the Moon exhibition, which is thought to be the first of its kind in the Arab art scene. It showed surreal paintings with science fiction ideas about the moon, and one of the best things showed was the migration painting. After that, he took part in several exhibitions put on by the Kuwaiti societies. He went with artists and writers Abdullah Roueshid, Fouad Al Hashim, and Abdullah Al Khalaf to present Kuwait at the Kuwaiti Festival in the heart of Egypt in 2005. Berlin was his first attempt to be creative. With a computer digital painting, Asad Bounachi charity show in 2007 was called Faces.
Welcome back, our dear viewers. So, Mr. Asad, we just saw the report about the galleries and about you. So, how did you like this report?
Actually, they give me the gallery to present my artwork, and that was very good support from the Council of Culture in Kuwait. Also the ambassador Moreno, he came from Japan. He's support me a lot to came to my exhibition and to listen to what Kuwaiti artists talk about his history, and that was very great moment for me. So I think this is the point about it. We are in Kuwait, we have many things to talk about, so we can reach even Japan.
Do you have another gallery soon?
In the future, I was thinking about something new, but I don't want to show about it, to talk about it. And it will be more positive, I think.
Hopefully you send us an invitation so we can come and watch your art,
we will
because
come in,
it's
Fatma.
very
Of
beautiful
course.
and we find it very intriguing. And I think one of the questions is usually an artist have their own critics.
Yeah.
So who's your biggest critic that you found, like who actually helped you achieve more, or their insight were very helpful?
Yeah, in Kuwait we have criticism. It's good to give the push to the artists, and the press is not helped a lot actually. Press is give you something nice to tell some art work. You have good artwork. You are good, very good, and there is good things. But it's help. It's encouraging artists to create something new. But actually, myself, I think criticism, it's helped a lot. And this is what I love about it. To tell the artist, you have this point, you need to fix this point. So let the artist challenge himself to create something new, something different that impairs the people. For critics, I think we have a lot. Many exhibitions I made. I make more than 8 exhibitions. I made Moon Expectation, Faces, Roots, and Avances, The Journey, Supernova. I always following the newspaper to read the critics if they are saying something about my, but I didn't find anything. And I wish, and I hope also in the future for the critics, if they are really studying this point, these things, these important things, I hope they are writing about the galleries, the exhibitions, the artists, the queries artists.
Inshallah, they will.
Yeah, because it's helped a lot. We need this one.
Of course, I think this is a very important point you mentioned.
Yes.
It really helps you to build on yourself, see the points that you didn't see in your paintings, because sometimes, you know, when you work, it's very hard to see the errors or where you can improve yourself. So for an extra point of view from different perspectives can really help you build yourself even better.
Every step can help you.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, Mr. Asad, we don't have any more time, but we are so glad that we got to meet you, to know your work,
Thank you.
and to know what you love.
Of course, it was a pleasure to have you here in Achievements.
Thanks, the pleasure was mine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, our viewers, for being here with us. And inshallah, we will see you in our next episode. And goodbye.
Goodbye.